So as you scan your negatives, you might notice that you have some imperfections in your digitized versions of it, mainly dust markings, potential fingerprints, scratches, chemical mishaps, things of that nature. Well, Photoshop is great because there are a couple quick and easy ways to fix those imperfections. So here I have a black and white negative that I scanned in, and when I zoom in, you can start to see that there are weird hairs and gunk and little dots that are kind of scattered throughout. Those can be distracting and you would need to get rid of them. So there are two different ways to go about this. One is using the spot healing tool, and the other one is using the clone stamp. So before I begin with either one, I'm going to make a copy of my background, just so I always have the original to go back to. And when I go to fix all these little imperfections, I want to be zoomed in, so that way you can really see what it is that you are working on. So I'm going to start with the spot healing tool. So in the toolbar on the left, you should find a Band-Aid icon that has kind of a dotted square behind it. If you don't see it, it might be just a regular Band-Aid or one of these other icons down here, but you want to make sure that you're on the spot healing tool brush. And this works similar to a regular paintbrush. So you have your options up top where you can change the size of it. So I would make the size pretty relevant to what it is you're correcting. So you don't want it super big, but you also don't want it too small. So right now for this hair that I'm going to get rid of, this size brush is pretty good. So we'll just leave it at that. So the way this spot healing tool works is it figures out the average of the colors, the grayscale, the stuff that is within an area that you are clicking on. And it figures out that average and replaces it with that's there. Okay? So for this hair, I'm just going to click and paint over it so you can see the mark I'm making. And when I let go, ta-da, it's disappeared. So Photoshop went ahead and it averaged out all the different grays that I had within that area and then replaced them. So over here on the lamppost, there's a little line, so we'll just click and drag, and it's gone. So I suggest kind of being zoomed in and going throughout your image. Now you don't have to get every single little speck that's there, but definitely get the ones that are a little more prominent and noticeable. So I'm just scrolling throughout, just painting over lines that might be a little distracting. I'm just kind of inching my way throughout my image. Good. Here's a big one down here. And then we'll do one more here. Okay, so that is the spot healing tool. You can see now my image is a lot cleaner. Here's the before, and you can really see some of the dots that I had, and there's the after. Before and after. So another option that you have is to use the clone stamp tool. So the clone stamp tool is a little bit trickier to use depending on what you're trying to fix. This might not be your best option, but I say try it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, try the spot healing brush. So with the clone stamp tool, the icon is one of those old-timey stampers that you would see. So you click on that, And once again, it is a brush system, so you want to make sure that your brush is a size that's relevant to what it is you're fixing. There we go, so that's make it a little bit bigger. There we go. So the way the clone stamp tool works is you pick a target area, and then from there you're stamping that target area onto another section. So to select your target area, you're going to hit your Option key. You can see my cursor change to kind of a bullseye icon or target sign. So I'm just going to pick an area that's relatively close to what I want to fix. I'm just going to click there and then let go. So then what happens is when I click and drag onto my new area, what my target area was is being replaced. So it might be a little bit difficult to see, but directly next to where I have the circle for the brush, there's a little plus sign. So that's my target area. So you can see that as I kind of move my brush, the plus sign moves alongside that circle, and they kind of go hand in hand. Here I'll change my target to this area, and then I'll have my circle here, and you can see that now that distance between my target area and what I'm painting is further away, and whatever is on that target, that plus sign, is what is getting painted in the area that I am recreating. Okay, so to get a slightly better view of this, zoom out a little bit, and let's say I wanted to recreate this entire lamp, perhaps with the target. So I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger. Ooh, too big. And if my lamp is my target, I'm just going to click. And then if I want to put the lamp further down, just paint, paint, paint. And you can see the target is moving with the brush, and whatever is hitting the target is getting recreated. So not only can the clone stamp kind of fix imperfections, but you can duplicate things that you want. Right, so it's kind of a neat little trick to kind of create weird illusions. Another thing that the clone stamp is really useful for is getting rid of something that you don't want. So here's a picture of a wall with an electrical outlet in it. So that electrical outlet is really distracting. I want to get rid of it. And I just want it to be just straight up a regular wall. So, clone stamp. I'm going to pick my target area right nearby. And now, when I paint, it's disappearing. And ta-da, that electrical outlet is no longer there.